DJT won all 7 swing states. DJT won all 7 swing states. He did a sweep. He did a sweep. He won. He won AZ, GA, Michigan, Nevada, NCPA, and Wisconsin. He won AZ, GA, Michigan, Nevada, NCPA, and Wisconsin. Yes. Dope, dope, dope. Great, great, great. Big congrats to the Don for winning all 7 battleground states. He deserves the win, the V, the dub, the Vic, he deserves the victory. Words.
Can we just start with the total and utter collapse of polling? Polling
Again,
is a lie. They don't
Crazy.
know anything.
Insane.
Only
Whack.
Henry Olsen, our guest, who I loved, knew what he was talking about. Nate Silver didn't know what he was talking about.
Nuts.
Nate Cohn over at the New York Times, and Ann Seltzer of the Des Moines Register. A total and utter fail.
where is Ann Seltzer today?
Whack.
Someone do a wellness check to see if she's still around. You know, Nate Silver was right about one thing, I think, when he said that, you know, what's happening with these polls is nobody wants to go out on a limb because they all want to be in the same space. That seems to be true. But he said that he ran 80,000 simulations.
Yeah, simulations.
And they came up like exactly 40,000 each or 40,001 each. Yeah, no, the polling stuff is appalling because the only people that were right, and they were almost not entirely right because we were looking at something that we're slightly surprised by, which is popular about it, was polling market.
The betting app.
That is the kind of
The
mechanism of the
betting app. The betting app.
40,000 each or 40,001 each. Yeah, no, the polling stuff is appalling because the only people that were
Craziness.
right, and they were almost not entirely right because we were looking at something that we're slightly surprised by, which is popular about it, was polling market. If you watched polling market, and that is the kind of wisdom of the crowd, they were right. And the other, whatever the competitor is another version of it.
By the way, my husband Doug Brunt, obsessed. It was
How did he win?
it was his comfort blanket throughout the whole, past 2 months. Like Poly Market though, but Poly Market.
I knew he put 20 grand on Jill Stein. I thought that was a risk. But instead it's gonna pay big. So
It was in Dearborn. It wasn't quite wrong.
He came in second
That's
place.
true.
Second place.
Can you believe that? Dearborn goes for Trump
Yes.
and Jill Stein, Kamala nowhere to be found.
No.
Just one more minute on the polls because they've been warned. They've been warned year after year that they had it wrong, that they shouldn't underestimate Donald Trump, that there was a secret Trump voter that doesn't like to deal with pollsters. And notwithstanding the fact that some got it, like Atlas got it, and as I pointed out,
Big
our guest
ups.
Henry Olsen, he got it.
Big
You had
ups
hard
to the
partisans
people
like Larry Sabato,
who did
lost his mind.
not
He's
get
also known as the My Pillow.
wrong.
They may or may not be the same person. Who lost his mind.
Hold up. Okay, back.
As I pointed out, our guest Henry Olsen, he got it.
Nope.
You had hard partisans like Larry Sabato, who lost
Crazy.
his mind. He's also known as the My Pillow guy. They may or may not be the same person. Who, of course, they were doing these so-called polls through their lens of what they want to be.
Yeah, that's
And
crazy.
they've been out. Who will pay it?
It makes no sense to do that.
I pointed out our guest Henry Olsen, he got it. You had hard partisans like Larry Sabato, who lost his mind. He's also known as the My Pillow guy. They may or may not be the same person. Who, of course, they were doing these so-called polls through their lens of what they want to be. And they've been out. Who will pay attention to these people again?
I had an inkling on.
Of course, they were doing these so-called polls through their lens of what they want to be. And they've been out. Who will pay attention to these people again?
These people can't be taken seriously, but certain people will still take these people seriously. These people can't be taken seriously, but certain people will take these people seriously. They will do that. These people can't be taken seriously, but certain people will still take these people seriously. Crazy. Yeah, these people are not thinking with logic. Yeah. The people who will still take these people seriously are twits.
Of course, they were doing these so-called polls through their lens of what they want to be. And they've been out.
Nonsense.
Who will pay attention to these people again?
I had an inkling on Monday night of some of this. I don't know what we call the quiet Trump poll respondent, but we hosted a thing. Shy Trump vote, right? So we hosted a live Reason Roundtable podcast taping in the Comedy Cellar, the Village Underground in New York. And at the beginning, I was like, all right, who voted here? You know, give me a show of hands for Kamala Harris. There's surprisingly a lot. For Donald Trump, crickets.
Wow.
There's no way in a group of libertarians, conservatives, independents that there's going to be zero Trump voters. And afterwards, when I talked to people, the Trump voters all came up to me.
They flocked.
Can I tell you something? I have a friend in Hollywood, and she sent me a text today saying, I have to pretend that I'm sad. I'm pretending I'm sad with all my
The lack of courage to say who you really support, who you really endorse is crazy.
There's no way in a group
But
of libertarians,
understandable.
that there's going to be zero
The
Trump
lack
voters. And afterwards,
of courage to say who you really endorse
the Comedy Cellar, the Village
is
Underground in New York.
crazy,
And at the beginning, I
but
was like, all right, who voted here?
understandable.
You know, give me a show of hands for Kamala Harris. There's surprisingly a lot. For Donald Trump, crickets. There was no way in a group of libertarians,
You get
conservatives,
a lot.
independents
You get
that there's going to be zero
a
Trump voters. And afterwards,
lot
when I talked to
of
people, the Trump voters all came up
hate.
to me. And I'm like, oh yeah, I was
Can I tell you something? I have a friend in Hollywood, and
when I talked to people, the Trump voters all came up to me. And I'm like, oh,
certain
yeah, I was
people
I have a
can't
friend in Hollywood,
handle
and
the hate.
show of
Certain
hands for
people
Kamala Harris.
can't
There's surprisingly a lot.
handle
For
the
Donald
heat
Trump, crickets.
or the
There
hate.
was no way in a
Certain
group
people
of
can't
libertarians, conservatives,
handle the heat or the hate. Certain people can't handle the heat or the hate. So they keep it on the low. Certain people can't handle the heat or the hate. So they keep it on the low. Word.
here. You know, give me a show of hands for Kamala Harris. There's surprisingly a lot. For Donald Trump, crickets. There was no way in a group of libertarians, conservatives,
No way.
that
Facts.
there's going to be zero Trump voters. And afterwards, when I talked to people, the Trump voters all came up to me. And I was like, oh, yeah, I was
Can I tell you something? I have a friend in Hollywood, and she sent me a text today saying, I have to pretend that I'm sad. I'm pretending I'm sad with all my friends.
Crazy.
She's a conservative who's got to stay underground. And
Wow.
that's just the way some of these circles work. Now,
Covert DJT devotee. A covert, a hidden DJT devotee. She feels that she has to remain a hidden DJT devotee. That is because if she chooses to publicly say who she really backs, she will get disowned. That is because if she chooses to publicly say who she really backs, she will get disowned. Crazy. People should not get disowned for voting for a person with politically dissident views than the person you back. If a person is not being hateful, he or she should not get disowned. If a person is not being hateful or crappy, then he or she should not get disowned. If a person is not being hateful or crappy to people, then he or she should not get disowned. Be tougher. You have to be able to handle dissenting views. You won't grow if you won't grow or evolve if you only hear views that you share. You must be able to listen to people who hold diverging views. You must be able to listen. You must be able to listen to people who hold diverging views. You will grow that way. Leave the bubble. Leave the box.
I have to pretend that I'm sad. I'm pretending I'm sad with all my friends. She's a conservative who's got to stay underground.
Crazy.
And that's just the way some of these circles work. Now, I don't know if that's how they work all over the Midwest, which is not.
I don't think so.
Yeah. But I do think, like, we had a woman call in yesterday from Wisconsin, and she's like, yeah, I lied to the pollsters. I just kind of want to mess with them. I don't care. Like, they're kind of against these pollsters. But the smart ones figure out ways around that. You cannot believe in these people. I really do believe it was their own bias that pushed them into, either subconscious or conscious bias that pushed them into manipulating all of us or trying to save her ass, which was unsavable.
Not trying to, succeeding. I mean, that is the manipulation you can't avoid, right? I mean, if the only information out in the ether is this is what's happening and everyone lined up agrees, we cannot, in this Pavlovian response, say, well, this has happened in the past. It's the only information we have to go on. So we're all talking about these polls. I don't know if you were, but we have been. And everywhere that I have seen, we're talking about the polls. And we're not saying like, well, there's like a shy Trump voter, but it's even on those margins. Like, this is a blowout.
It's a
Yeah,
blowout.
51%.
I mean,
It's a landslide.
51%. It's a landslide. We're talking about.
He
All
washed
the blue Wall Street. We don't
KH.
know. I mean, like every swing state.
He got bit.
7 swing states.
DJT got busy, bro. DJT got busy. That is the incontestable truth. That is the incontestable truth. The incontrovertible truth. That is the incontestable and incontrovertible truth. That is the incontestable and incontrovertible truth.
I mean, it's a landslide. 1%. It's a landslide. We're talking about all the blue Wall Street.
He deserves the praise.
7 out of 7 swing states.
7 out of 7. I mean, it's unbelievable.
And we were told it was so tight.
Yeah. So we don't know. I mean, like every swing state.
He deserves the veneration. He deserves the veneration. Word.
It's a
Yeah,
blowout.
51%.
I mean, it's a landslide. 1%. It's a landslide. We're talking about all the blue Wall Streets. We don't know. I mean, like every swing state.
7 out of 7 swing states.
7
Yes.
out of 7. I mean, it's unbelievable.
And we were told it was so tight.
The race.
Every poll said it was tight. No one said he was running away with it. No one predicted.
And Seltzer told me that Jill Stein was going to win. So,
Deluded. Yeah. The people who thought Gio had a chance were living in La La Land. The people who thought Gio had a real chance were living in La La Land. The people who thought Gio had a real chance were living in La La Land. The people who thought Gio had a real chance were living in La La Land.
He was running away with it. No one predicted.
and Seltzer told me that Jill Stein was going to win. Go back to Jill Stein. So,
Sorry, Camilla.
no, I
Bomb.
was going to ask, I mean,